Oh, it'd be great to have him available, no doubt. But these things happen, injuries happen. He's an all-time great in one day in T20 cricket. I don't think there's many better players to have played the game. So any team that he's not a part of is going to be slightly weaker, I think. But we've got guys that can step up and really contribute heavily in that role as well. Oh, I think he's going okay. He hasn't been at his very best, and you have to understand that his standards are a lot higher than what you expect from most other people because of how dominant he's been over the last 8 or 9 years, especially in the white ball formats. He's been super. So I don't. He'd love to be swinging the ball and getting it right early on, but it's reality when you're defending big totals and you're playing against good players, they're coming hard at you. So there'll be some conversations had today about what we can do slightly different, whether it's a tactical thing, whether it's when we're using him through the innings. We'll chat about that today. But it's definitely no panic stations here from my point of view. He still bowled really well in the Shield in the first couple of rounds. I think that there's from my point of view and chatting to other guys about his technique and little things that his fellow bowlers and the fast bowling cartel really monitor. They seem to think that he's going really well. So it's just a matter of time. There's nowhere to hide in one day cricket when you're playing on some really, really flat wickets with quality opposition. Well, I guess that'll be in the back of everyone's mind who's playing in them tests. I know that for someone like Smithy, once he's up and going, he can be a hard man to stop. So regardless of what conditions you go to, if he's confident in himself and that he's feeling good against a certain bowler, that could be. Well, that's definitely playing into his hands, especially now that he's found them. I can tell you on the field, it's definitely not any less competitive than what it has been in the past. It's, I think you can see by the scores that they've been high-scoring, entertaining games, and it's definitely been very fierce on the field as well. So, I think people are reading into that a little bit too much. It's been incredible. 262 ball hundreds is to get one of them is bloody hard, but to back it up again. And play pretty flawless innings. I mean, striking it like that with very minimal risk, I think, just shows the absolute class of him. He's worked so hard on his game, I suppose, to rein it back in from IPL, where he was probably trying to go a little bit too hard. So just he stayed in his bubble and played absolutely beautifully. It doesn't have too many weaknesses when he's on. He's just confident, and when he's confident, his best is as good as anyone in the world. He's so destructive, and I think having the really clear and defined role that he's been playing has been something that probably in the past, when we've got into situations where we might be one down after 25 overs, you think of putting Maxi in there, and sometimes that can mess with him a little bit because it's almost too far out to play what gives him the best chance of success. So having a really clear role for him, it's around that 38 over mark. If we're in a really strong position, then he goes in, because you know that he only needs 20 balls, 25 balls to have a huge impact on a game. Yeah, it's disappointing to see how slow the game has been moving the last couple of games, and both teams have been a bit guilty of that. No doubt about that. I think you have to be really careful if you're deciding to bring runs penalties in, because a lot of the time the batting team are actually the ones that are slowing down the innings. So if you're starting to punish bowling teams, then it becomes a real raffle on or a real tough job to police where you're taking your minutes from, because there's a few times when you change gloves and that might take a little bit too long and the fielding team's waiting, but that all gets lumped on the fielding captain, and I know it goes both ways, but you have to be really careful when you do that if you decide to start dishing out runs penalties. In terms of a clean sweep, I think you can never predict anything against India. They're a great side. We're just trying to play the best cricket we can on the day. We've been really lucky with the way that not lucky. We've been pretty good, to be fair, especially with bat in hand. With the ball, we've done what's required at exactly when we've needed it. So, yeah, I'm really happy with how we're progressing. How the I suppose the makeup of the side has been really balanced for a while. guys who are coming in and getting opportunities are taking them as well. So yeah, that's been really impressive.